Okay, I'm going to have to go after the Rageaholic as much as I want to because he is promoting cope. Go broke, get woke, ultimately croak is cope, right? Now let's get into this. Oh, by the way, Rageaholic, uh, talking really loud and fast makes it harder for you to understand what you're saying. Just a little suggestion.
Been preaching this sermon so long I had to have a residency at the Crystal Cathedral. But with a respectful tip of my non-existent hat to the quartering, I submit that the age-old axiom is not get woke, go broke. In the immortal words of my boy Donkey Kong, if you know the words, you can join in too. It's go broke, get woke, ultimately croak. And if
Is cope.
3+ years of far too young actors and actresses dying of suddenly has illustrated anything at all to us, it's that if there's anything the entertainment industry knows how to do with alacrity, it's croak. The corpus du jour this past week, Volition Entertainment, an icon in the video game industry, architects of THQ's The Punisher, Red Faction, and semi-satirical GTA mimeograph Saints Row. Until recently, one of the more...
That's right. These companies, are willing to go tits up to attack men, to spit on men. That's what the motivation is, Rageaholic. Right? And you obviously don't understand that.
Respected and successful scions of the sandbox trend, only recently reduced to a noxious caca casserole of coastal pinko politics and pronouns.
I've told you before.
It's not pinko politics. It's feminist politics. See, these right-wingers can never, they always derail. These right-wingers can never face the women. They're cowards.
Idols are trying to build a post-capitalist society where money is not a concept.
Yeah? Then why don't you go run off and join the commune? Ooh! Can we take a hybrid?
Eli, I love that you're worried about fuel efficiency, but
So these feminists who make these Rageaholic, these products, they know that men are going to reject them. They know that men buy them, and they know they're going to reject it. They actually want these video games to fail. They want the franchises to fail that men like. See, this is how it works.
I'm thinking acceleration is gonna matter more.
Your carbon footprint always matters.
The Saints Row reboot bombed so hard it was sponsored by Raytheon, but even beneath that billowing mushroom cloud, Volition's express elevator to insolvency was wondrous to behold. Less than...
How is it wondrous? So these feminists purposely ruined a viable product that men like to spit in your face, and you think that's wondrous? Man, men cope hard. Whatever your name is, Rageaholic, you are coping hard.
2 years after insulting their own audience for refusing to buy their Bolshevik bullshit.
Thank you, exactly. The gaslight. They attack the men who buy the product. Exactly. What's so hard for you to understand?
Volition are officially out of business. Well, 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 if it isn't the inevitable consequences of your actions. The espresso suicide of Volition.
You're acting like they're going to learn something when this is what their motivation is. Rageaholic. They want these franchises destroyed, these feminists, right? So they're succeeding. There's nothing for them to learn. They already have learned. They learned what they do works. You are the one who hasn't learned anything.
Volition is so strikingly apotheotic, business textbooks of the fucking future will devote 18 uninterrupted chapters to proving my hypothesis in practice. Nor have I been particularly inconsistent on this subject.
But your hypothesis is wrong, right? Like Gillette suffered, right? Exactly. This is where the Gillette ad insulted men. It worked. They insulted men. Didn't matter if it hurt the profits or not, because it wasn't about the profits.
Gillette imbibed in the best a man can get goat fuck and proceeded to eat an ass souffle on the stock market, many crowed the get woke, go broke axiom. I cautioned, however, that this was in truth an attempt to make themselves compatible for Corpo ESG to score some of that sweet, sweet merger money. Why would...
Dude, they're not making money off of this. There's no new crowd for this. You know, this is more cope.
Cot goblin corpos want to be compatible with what sounds like a fucking Chinese food ingredient? Well, who better to explain the practice than the primary prick who's pushing it, Larry Fink of ESG Uber Monolith, BlackRock.
Well, behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors. 54% of the incoming class are women.
There you go. This is pandering to women at the expense of the business. Rage. Men sacrifice their income all the time for the opposite sex. So that's all that's going on here.
We added 4 more points in terms of diverse employment this year. And what we are doing internally is if you don't achieve these levels of impact, your compensation could be impacted, okay?
We're doing the same thing.
And so it's just, you have to...
When he says diverse, he means that that translates into people that are validated by the women that they're trying to impress. But really, it is all about these women.
Force behaviors. And if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team,
He means women, period.
you're going to be impacted. And that's not recruiting, it is development, as Ken said. And ultimately, it's still going to take time, but I am just as much shocked as Ken is that we have not seen more opportunities. And we're going to have to force change.
If it applies in politics, if it's implicit in media, if Wall Street suckers blush at BlackRock's one-inch wonder, then giddily splay their sandalwood-scented assholes for a corporate cash infusion, then what's good for the goose...
Are you suggesting this guy has a small dick? So only small dick men pander to women? Dude, all men pander to women.
is good for the gaming industry. Hence, it should surprise precisely no one that after filing for Chapter 11 in 2016, only to be acquired by gaming's very own BlackRock, Deep Silver, Step 1, go broke, Volition and the Saints Row series they're known for got a botched fems gold facelift. Step 2, get woke, only to be bailed out by the all-new BlackRock, Embracer, who took one lingering look at their year-over-year financials, saw more red flags than Antifa Twitter space, and shipped them off to the goddamn glue factory. Step 3, ultimately, croak. Look, I backhand.
That's right. That's right. These feminists infiltrated and destroyed the franchise. Okay. And that's what they wanted to do. This is the only thing you're getting wrong. This is your coping. You can't come to terms with this is done on purpose and this is the goal.
And the black pills, not because they piss me off. They really don't. The damage done by...
Yes, they do, pal. These black pillars are, and you're going to express your anger.
Black pills is like David Spade's career after Chris Farley. Negligible. I attack and incite in order
It's so negligible, you brought them up. No, these black pillars actually hit something. They hit the target. And this is angering you. This is damaging your coping.
To educate, because otherwise when a company craps out a sterling example of world-class wokery such as, say, Barbie, and suffers no serious impact to its profitability, the retard's refrain amounts to something like, see, get woke, go broke.
How are they retarded since they actually talked about something that was true? I know female relatives that personally were ecstatic about going to this movie. It did well. You can't argue with that. And these stupid faces you're making don't change that. Okay? Here's more proof. Sin City, dude. Sin City was made by a female worshiper. All the females are good in this movie, and the bad guys hurt women. And it was very successful. And this is years and years old, right? So it can be done. It has been done. They've had successful films in the past. But the success is neither here nor there. If the Barbie movie had failed, it would still succeed at the goal, which is to spread feminist propaganda. Okay?
A myth. Checkmate anyone at all with a dopamine response, often with repeated, ever more envious utterances of the terms grifter and clickbait, presumably through feverish mouthfuls of cock. Well, no shit. Like,
so these guys must be gay if they don't agree with you. Come on, dude. Sorry, that's pathetic.
your hypothesis ain't panning out
Copers are pathetic. That's true. I mean, I just want to point that out.
because you ain't even got the right fucking formula. Barbie went woke because parent company WB.
Dude, you don't have the right formula. Or let's say more accurately, your formula has nothing to do with the goals of why they made the formula in the first place.
We are beyond broke. While other studios slap superheroes on everything in their portfolios and printed money for the past 2 decades, Warner.
Thank you. Superheroes that printed money. That's a good thing that you mentioned it. It was taken over by the feminists after it made its money, and they inserted their feminist horseshit in there. Look at Captain Marvel. So again, they can attach themselves to a franchise that's making money and get their jabs in there, which is exactly what they did. Their jabs against men.
Outside of the odd Joker or Batman flick, failed to cash in with equivalent successes of their own, sucking hind teat at the comic book buffet until now in 2023, when the genre's rapidly deflating mommy memories produce only errant puffs of powdered fucking milk. To put a finer point on it, 1 month.
Yep, the feminists are trashing it now. That's true. They put the nails in the coffin. Another franchise destroyed, which is exactly what they wanted to do. Thank you.
After banging out Barbie, WB dropped the world-smashing success that was Blue Beetle, a movie that bombed so biblically the actual Blue Beetle hired an illegal immigrant to fail for him.
Yeah, so what does this got to do with anything?
WB ain't on step 3. They're at step fucking 1. Go broke. It's clear then that what we're witnessing right now.
Dude, you're talking like to cancer and saying, wow, cancer, you destroyed your host. You should learn not to be cancer. Do you realize this is what you sound like? Hey, virus, you killed the host. Now you don't get to live anymore. The viruses, dude, they kill the host, but they jump to a new host, then kill that host. They consume and move on. Consume and move on. That's what feminists do. They consume male hobbies and male franchises, and then when it's destroyed, they move on. Okay, now, do I need the last 2 minutes of this? I'll skim over. Okay, we will go through the last 2 minutes.
Disney ain't exactly in the running, and they already swallowed 20th Century Fox whole, so who the hell does that even leave? Paramount?
That's a good observation. All of the entertainment industry is feminist run now. Right? So it's going in the crapper. Good point.
They can barely afford Tom Cruise's shoe lifts. How the hell are they dropping dough on the WB? Leaving who? Universal? They have exactly one franchise. And did you watch The Last Jurassic World? All the dinosaurs were in the cast. And that parade of ill-conceived cameos is about the only reason anyone watched it at all. Who the hell are you going to thaw out of Amber to pop a number for the next fucking film, Sam?
Well, that's a good point, too. See, when feminists take over, they destroy. They don't build. So that is a good question. The only way, dude, you're going to make an improvement if you kick the feminist out. I never hear you say anything about that.
Jackson's severed arm. WB could buy and sell those bitches even in their current depressive state. And if the institution of Hollywood has no hope, what the hell chance did a pissant game studio like Volition have pulling the self-same stupid gambit and
But it's not stupidity. It's only stupidity if they didn't mean to do it. Actually, they're great at what they do. They're very smart at wrecking franchises men love. So you're the stupid one. You're the coper.
antagonizing their own audience in the aftermath. How
The male audience. Get it right. Get it right.
ass over tea kettle backward were Volition, put it this way. They paid actual money to self-described feminist porn star Sasha.
Thank you, feminist. She finally admitted it. So now that, since you admitted this is feminist, you should know what their motivations are. Right?
Gray for a fully clothed in-game speaking role. That about answer your question? You'd see more
Yeah, they don't want to give men what they want. That's true.
financial restraint from Lizzo at Cold Stone Creamery. So once more, congregation, let us stand as one and declare aloud with one
Take a breath, dude.
unified voice, all the better to boof the black pill, still laboring under the false formulation of get woke, go broke. And all God's people said, go broke, get woke, finally fucking croak.
How's that any different? You've switched the words around, but they mean the same cope, dude. Right? You think this is going to self-correct. This is the cope that guy's saying. This has been going on for a long time, almost a decade now. And businesses going under haven't changed anything. Again, you can't go to cancer and say, wow, you killed the host. Stop being cancer, right? It's the old scorpion and the frog story, right? The scorpion is going to sting the frog, even though it drowns it. Though that's not a perfect example because these feminists, they don't get drowned. They're women. They get new jobs after they destroyed the franchise. So they don't suffer.
I'm a Razorfist. God to fucking...
Okay, enough of this. Just another coping loser. Thanks, Rageaholic.